Okay, friends, welcome back. This is last edition for today. Now we are going to look at the second document, the second most important document, and this is statement of financial position. It used to be called balance sheet. Now, balance sheet is so important because that records all the assets, all the liabilities, and what equity of the business or capital. So you see how important this document is. Anything owned by the business, anything the liability the business has also taken from others, and of course capital. So if you look at our chart, we have statement of financial position. Now, before we can even look at statement of financial position, we need to look at what we call accounting equation. This is the fundamental as far as accounting is concerned. Accounting equation. So the accounting equation states that all your assets should be equal to what? Liabilities plus equity. We are going to explain that. All your assets must be equal to what? Liabilities plus equity. So what is the meaning of asset? Asset means that all the items owned by the business. So Rich Dad Poor Dad Robert Kiyosaki will tell you that assets are things that generate income for the business. Yes, but we are saying that all the items owned by the business is defined as what? Asset, because they are the things that the business will use to generate income or money. That is what we refer to as what? Assets. It can be current or it can be what? Non-current. So current means that it has less than one accounting year. It lasts less than one accounting year. When it can last for more than 1 year. We call it a non-current asset. So current one can be cash. It can be your inventory. They are all current assets. Non-current is also known as fixed assets. So that can be buildings, that can be vehicles, that can be equipment. They are all now. So you need to record all that. Of course, we call it all resources. You need to record that on one side. Now, that should be equal to your liability. What are liabilities? Like obligations of the business, the debts that the business have also incurred, the money that the business have taken that they've not paid. We call all that liability. So liabilities we can have current and non-current. So the current ones are the short-term loans or overdrafts. So we call it what? Current liabilities. Then also have the non-current one, the long-term loans, the debenture, and the rest. You need to record all that one side plus your equity. What is equity? Equity is the value of shares that the business will issue. Of course, shares is just a document that shows that you are part owner of the business. So limited liability companies, they issue shares, right? So that people can be part of the business. So that is what we call equity. Now, equity includes share capital. Share capital is the total money the business will get from the shares that they've issued. Then retain profit. Of course, after the business have made profit, they need to pay dividends, they need to pay tax and the rest. After all that deduction, the money that is left will be used to run the business. We call it retain earnings or retain profit. It's also added, and that will give you equity. So this is what we call sources of finance, where the business will get money. So you see, your resources must be the same as your sources of finance. This is what we call what? Statement of financial position, and it comes from what we call accounting equation, the fundamentals as far as accounting is concerned. And you can know this. This is not something difficult. Do you understand? Yes, the details of it, we will leave that for the professional, the accountant. But at least the document you need to know. Especially if you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to be part of business, do you understand? It's so important, these two documents. Okay, so let's move on. Yes, so the fundamental accounting equation, also called the balance sheet equation, represents the relationship between asset, liabilities, and owner's equity of a person. So you see, it doesn't only shows companies worth. It also shows what worth of what a person. So you as an individual, before you can know your worth, you need to know what we call statement of financial position or accounting equation, because that will tell us how much you are worth. Very, very important. So for each transaction, debit. Okay, let's move on. Now, what is statement of financial position? The statement of financial position is another term for balance sheet. It lists asset, liability, and equity, like we've said before. In financial accounting, a balance sheet is a summary of financial balances of an individual. Listen, financial balance of an individual or organization. So it can be sole trader, business partnership, or corporation, or private limited. A balance sheet provides a snapshot of a company's financial performance at a given point in time. Yes, so like the income statement, the balance sheet will also give you a snapshot of the business, how the business is performing. Before you can know that, unless you have the balance sheet, yes, you can have a bookkeeper, or you yourself, you can have knowledge about these documents, so that if you don't have professional accounting, you can at least record some of these things yourself. Okay, so let's move on. Yes, net worth of an individual. Now, since we started this show, I have given you some net worth of some few individuals. Now, net worth of any individual, how are we able to come by that figure? Is through what we call statement of financial position, or balance sheet, or accounting equation. That's what is used so that we can determine the net worth of any individual. So whether top 10 richest in Ghana or in the world, the same thing. So your net worth is your asset minus your liabilities. So your worth is all your assets minus your liabilities before we can determine your worth. It's what we have left over after you pay all your liabilities. Okay, so let's look at some net worth, top 10 richest people in the world. So we have Elon Musk, whose net worth is 245. Of course, Tesla. We have Bernard Arnault, 196. Louis Vuitton. Jeff Bezos, 168. Amazon. Larry Ellison, 145. Oracle. Warren Buffett, also known as the most or the best investor in the world. Fifth richest, 119. Berkshire Hathaway. Bill Gates, 170. Microsoft. Mark Zuckerberg, of course, Facebook. Larry Page, co-founder of Google. Steve Ballmer, former CEO of Microsoft. And Sergey Brin, also co-founder of Google. Now, look at these individuals that we have here. Now, these people, like I said the other time, they have done business for the past 100 years. Nobody on this earth has done business better than them. Now, one thing you should know is that apart from Warren Buffett, who did business administration at the university, none of them did business. So if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, it doesn't matter whether you have done business degree or not. But the good thing is that why business education will come in is that almost all of them, they have taken course or they have read about business. So that is why you cannot afford to mix this program. Not only this program, you can read on your own business books or whatever, especially if you want to go into entrepreneurship. I'm not talking about classroom school. No, I'm talking about business education. Of course, education is not only, school is one part. You can learn on your own. You can watch videos. You can also watch what we are doing. Business education is so important. Even though they did not do or they don't have business degrees, they have all done courses in business by reading themselves or attending some or whatever. Almost all of them, that's what I can say. But for Warren Buffett, he specialized in business. So we also all business students. So those who want to be managers, who want to be marketers, that one you need to do business. So my business students comes out. So that is in the world. Let's see if we have Ghana here. Yes, I think we have Ghana too. Let's quickly. Our time is almost up. So Ghana, we have Ernesto Tarukun, the richest man in Ghana. Trasacco, the posh real estate in Accra. We have Dr. Sam Jonah, the second richest. Ernesto has 1.3 billion US dollars. Sam Jonah has 1.2 billion. Let's see Adokofo, Dr. Adokofo, President Kofo's brother. Yes, so Dr. Kwame Adokofo, the third richest, who has always contested that he's not the third richest person, but anytime the records shown, he's the third. So now, interestingly, only the first three, 4 parts as far as billionaires are concerned. So in Ghana, we have only 3. I'm talking about dollars. I'm not talking about Ghana cedis. So in terms of dollars, we have only 3. Ernesto Tarakuni, we have Dr. Kwame Adokofo. Then the second one is of course, Dr. Sam Jonah. Okay, so all this in billions, we have only 3. Then we have John Dramani Mahama, former president, who has $900 million. Nabil Edmond had 900. Let's see. The 6th, Michael Ibrahim, who has 870. Ahaji Muhammad has how much? 850. Let's see, do we have Kwame Despite in? Yes, Osei Kwame Despite, who has $800 million. The biggest as far as entrepreneurship is concerned is number 1. Okay, so we have number 10, the Kamonis, $700 million. Now, so I wanted to show you example of statement of financial position. I think yes, we can watch it before we go. So this is example of balance sheet or statement of financial position. So as you can see, you record all your assets. So the total asset, this is the total asset. Then you record all your liabilities. This is total liabilities. Then you record the equity. I've told you that equity is what? The value of shares that the company will issue. So we have it here, contributed capital, then retained earnings. When you put that together, that's your equity. So when you have equity, you add it to the liabilities. So you check, is your asset the same as this? Yes, when you add it, it will be the same. It means that it has balance. That's what we used to call it, balance sheet. It has balance. Let's see if we have another example. Our time is almost up. Okay, so importance of statement of financial position. It can help you see the big picture, the net worth of your small business. Yes, balance sheet will show the net worth of a business. This financial statement lists everything the company owns and all of its debts. I think that it's almost time. So friends, thank you for making us number 1 as far as business and financial education in Ghana is concerned. Kyeremateng the show is number 1. No 2 ways about that. Nobody does it better than us. Now, so go to YouTube, search for Patrick Asare-Kyeremateng, subscribe and press the bell button. Go to Facebook, Patrick Asare-Kyeremateng, TikTok, Kyeremateng24. Oh, it has been a long day. My camera lady has been spending love. Magna, myself, Patrick Asare-Kyeremateng, Ghana's number 1 business financial coach, the captain of Kyeremateng Desk show. Today has been special Christmas edition. I have enjoyed myself. Now, hopefully, if God permits, tomorrow we continue with the second Christmas edition. We will meet you tomorrow. Bye bye.